Sha-na-na-na-na-na. Sha-na-na-na-na-na. I love the sea. I don't live nowhere near the sea, so it's really special for me to be at the seaside, and it brings so many fantastic memories back. When I was little, we used to go to what we used to call day trips. We didn't go on big long holidays like people do nowadays if they're very lucky, but my mum and dad used to have the first 2 weeks of August off, because my dad was a builder, my mum worked in a bread shop, and all Halifax used to stop for 2 weeks. And we used to go to Blackpool and Scarborough and Whitby, and we used to go to a fantastic place called Bolton Abbey. Now at Bolton Abbey there's nothing there. It's not by the sea. There's nothing there. It's just a ruined church and a big field and a fantastic river called the Wharf. But look at this sea. We used to go to Blackpool a lot with the tower and the pleasure beach and the scary clowns and things like that, and get candy floss. We used to have our own pet name for Blackpool. We called it BLOKE. We used to get up in the morning, the sky was always blue when I was little. We used to get up in the morning and we used to go, let's go to BLOKE. And there were 4 of us sat at the back of the car, my dad and my mum driving the old Cortina to Blackpool up the motorway. Subaru, metallic blue, Fiat Panda 1.2, Ford Focus, Ford Fiesta, Vauxhall Vectra, sunroof extra, Honda Accord, Isuzu Trooper, Range Rover, Mini Cooper, petrol head, amber, green and red, petrol head, traffic jam inside my head. Volkswagen, Golf and Polo, Volvo Clio, Fiat Punto, Shogun Sport, big off-roader, Jaguar Porsche, Audi Skoda, Peugeot BMW, Lexus Saab and Mazda 2. Petrol head, amber, green and red, petrol head, traffic jam inside my head. Satellite, navigation, quick fit and petrol station, turbocharged, exhaust pipes, alloy wheels, go faster stripes, hatchback, 4x4, fuel injection, engine raw, tinted windows, cruise control, automatic, let it roll. Petrol head, amber, green and red, petrol head, traffic jam inside my head. But I don't always charge around, driving in the car, up and down motorways, visiting school, bouncing around in assemblies. Sometimes it's nice just to sit down, read the paper, or read a good book, like this. Good cup of tea. One million colours. It's the sound of emptiness in the back of beyond. It's raindrops on wet noses. Reading is one of my great hobbies. I love it. I've always read. Another hobby that I love doing is walking, getting out in the fresh air, looking at things, seeing things that I might use in later poems to write about. I've got 3 big walks coming up. This year with my good friend Ian Bland, the poet, I'm walking a walk that's called the Dales Way. Goes from Windermere in the Lake District, coming down to Ilkley. It's about 80 miles. That'll take me about 4 days, 4 or 5 days. Next year I'm doing a famous walk called the Coast to Coast, which goes from a place called St Bees to a place called Robin Hood's Bay, right across Britain, and it's called the Coast to Coast, and it's 190 miles. It'll take me about 2 weeks. The Olympic year, I'm doing a big one. I've always wanted to have a crack at this one. From John O'Groats, right at the top of Scotland, coming down through Britain, finishing at a place called Land's End. The whole length of the country. That's about 1,000 miles. Walking 1,000 miles. It's a bit of a mad idea, but I like doing stuff like that. That'll take me about 10 weeks perhaps. I'm going to write about it, write about the people I meet on my travels, read poems out into schools, have a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll try and raise a few quid for charity. Walking, I love it.
Grandad is always thinking. His head is all over the place. One day he sat down and told me he wanted to fly into space. He told me he went down the market and showed me the stuff that he'd bought. You need the proper equipment to be an astronaut. First he built a rocket out of some old bits and bobs, and then he had a cup of tea and half a dozen hobnobs. He painted the rocket silver with paint that he got from his shed, and then when he was ready for blast-off, but he had some more hobnobs instead. He made some anti-gravity slippers from some tin foil and string, and a big Buzz Lightyear space belt out of an old rubber ring. He made an alien-proof cardy with earmuffs, scarf and flat cap, and then when everything was ready, he looked at the moon on a map. He said, "Now that's where I'm going. I'll set off at 2:45, and if it doesn't start raining, I'll get back in time for my tea." And then he started hurtling towards the nearest star, and when he got there, he had a quick kip and put his false teeth in a jar. He whizzed around the planets at the amazing speed of light, then ate an emergency hobnob to soothe his appetite. He went to the moon for a nosy, for a quick look around. He wrote "Grandad was here" in big letters upon the dusty ground. Then, when it was home time, he opened the escape hatch and made a cool crash landing slap bang in his old cabbage patch. When Grandad told me this story, he had a big smile on his face. "I'm really proud of me Grandad, the first ever Grandad in space." You'll never see a baboon dancing on the moon. You'll never see a giraffe in a bubble bath. You'll never see a kangaroo